never fair, but they made sure to be there to show how much they don't care. Where's the line? Nothing here is fine. I can hardly make a dime while people get away with crime. Work harder while you try your hardest, get stronger while they cripple you. Pull yourself up while they hold you down. Life was never fair, but they made sure to be there to show how much they don't care. Kick you while you're down. Make sure no one else is around. Don't stand up. We can't have disobedience. You'll need to follow their command. Where's the line? Nothing here is fine. I can hardly make a dime while people get away with crime. It won't be long now, the time grows near. It's something we've all feared. Now's the time before they steal every last dime. Work harder.
Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Got the mad hair, mad scientist hair going today, and lots of news to cover. Some really important news in my opinion, but important news doesn't get covered nowadays apparently. But that's why I'm here. I'm here to cover the important things that other people will not cover apparently. Important things like look at this ad I got for you guys. Watch this. Watch boom. Watch boom. Look at this. Important things like this. Looking for a comfortable but unique option for your gaming setup? Check out TechniSportUSA.com. With a wide range of ergonomic chairs and an array of colors, you will definitely bring your setup to the next level. Always comfy, never boring. TechniSport. Use code RUMBLE for 10% off your entire order. So I got to leave that up there for just a second. If you guys are in the market for a new gaming chair, make sure you guys check that out. Got to get the ad out of the way at the beginning here. Just because we got all you guys in here before we get into the news, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. I want to start with this this interesting story. This is an interesting one. Short, but kind of funny. We'll jump into that one. What do we got in the chat here? Joey Cannoli rated the stream. Thank you so much, Joey. What's up, Sean? Tactical Tinkers here. What's up, Missy? Yo, entertain me. I will try. What's up, Box? Says he's heading out of work. Tinker said I gotta clock in for swing shift soon. Oh my. Well, have fun at work, I guess. Let's get the show going, shall we? All right. Go to this first story. And I don't have it ready for you guys because I'm not prepared. Oops. There we go. I was prepared the whole time, I swear. All right, so here's the story. We got this one from the Post Millennial, and this one was just kind of funny. Let's read the title here. What does it say? It says mini Guatemalan sex pest arrested by ICE in New Orleans. So here's the suspect. Quite the small individual. Definitely a mini Guatemalan. So what happened here? So it looks like a Guatemalan national with a prior conviction for indecent behavior with a juvenile has been arrested in New Orleans by U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement. Officials have confirmed. ICE identified the suspect as Christian Soto Galeno, who previously served a 2-year prison sentence for the molestation charge. The agency announced his arrest as part of an ongoing immigration enforcement operation in Louisiana. Post Millennial, where did he serve that sentence, and why was it only 2 years? Hello? Need more info there. Sexual predator arrested. ICE New Orleans arrested Christian Soto Galeno, a citizen of Guatemala. His criminal history includes a conviction for indecent behavior with a juvenile and was sentenced to 2 years in prison. The agency said in a statement, "We stand ready to face any challenge, big or small." Wow. Had to get that in there. Had to get that in there. There we go. Box got it. He's a mini molester. Yeah, look at this guy. He's a mini molester. So this is from the ICE New Orleans account. Here we go. It says sexual predator arrested. ICE New Orleans arrested Christian Soto Galeno. Looks like a citizen of Guatemala. His criminal history includes a conviction for indecent behavior with a juvenile and was sentenced to 2 years in prison. We stand ready to face any challenge, big or small. Man, just smack the smug look on this guy's face. Just smack it off his face. The arrest comes as Louisiana continues to be one of the most cooperative states in the nation when it comes to assisting federal immigration authorities. According to Axios, Louisiana had 10 active or pending 287G agreements in July, which allows state and local law enforcement to coordinate directly with ICE. Governor Jeff Landry has moved for expanded cooperation, signing an executive order in May, urging additional parishes and local agencies to enter into agreements. By contrast, both the New Orleans Police Department and the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office remain largely restricted from direct collaboration with ICE due to existing policies. See, I don't understand that. What right does a state or local county have to just outright refuse to comply with federal authority? I've never understood that. That sounds like it should just automatically be illegal and it should just be struck down. It's just interesting. So can I, as a county, decide, hey, federal law says we can't have all these firearms. Screw that. I don't care. Could we do that in theory? The same way that these guys do sanctuary cities and stuff like that, where you're not allowed to cooperate with federal authorities, can we do sanctuary cities for the Second Amendment? Like, hey guys, this is a sanctuary city for the Second Amendment. If you come into this area, you are allowed to open carry, conceal carry, any firearm of your choosing as long as you're a legal resident and law-abiding citizen. We should start doing that. Why are Republicans not doing that? We should start doing that in these areas. I would love it. I would love to have a Second Amendment sanctuary city. Oh man, I'm not in favor of moving out of California. I don't want to cede ground to commies. Cede ground to commies. However, if someone created a Second Amendment sanctuary city, oof, that's a good argument for me to move there. ICE New Orleans has also carried out a wider operation in recent months. On May 27th, Homeland Security investigations with the support of U.S. Customs and Border Protection's air and marine operations arrested 15 individuals illegally present in the United States during a targeted worksite enforcement action at construction sites in the New Orleans area. Those arrested include nationals of Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. Worksite enforcement investigations focus on reducing illegal employment, holding employers accountable, and protecting employment opportunities for the country's lawful workforce. HSI New Orleans Special Agent in Charge Eric DeLon? I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to say that. His name is there. HSI New Orleans will continue protecting public safety by enforcing the immigration laws of our nation. Yeah, get this guy out of the country, and then wherever he's sent, if he actually did molest somebody, dude, throw him in prison for the next 20 plus years. Like, why 2? Why 2 years? Such communities exist. Look at Freedom, Ohio. That sounds cool. What's up, Villainous? How's it going? But yeah, so that's the story on this one. This is just one of the stories I wanted to open up with. Nothing major here. It's just kind of funny. Is this like I think, at least from what I've seen, this is the first small person to be in the news getting deported. And it's just kind of funny to me. So, let's see. I'm getting messages and stuff. Who's messaging me? Oh. Oh, see, James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe will be posting a lot of stuff. We're gonna be getting to James O'Keefe here in a minute. We'll move over to the James O'Keefe stuff here in just a minute, because there is other stuff I want to talk about. I'll save that story. I want to talk about Nepal. Nepal, guys, things are going down in Nepal. Crazy stuff going on there. Oh, okay, here, let's take over the 4 o'clock when you switch. Okay, so that is something I should remind you guys. So this is the last week that I'll be doing the show at this time. Next week, I will be doing the show from now on, going forward. I will be doing the show at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That will be 11 a.m. Eastern. I know a lot of you have work and stuff in the morning. There's also a lot of you that have work later in the afternoon that can't watch my show either. And the reason I'm doing it is because I just want more time in the day. Right now, I'm waking up I get ready for the show, and then I do the show, and then I basically don't have a lot of time left in the day after that. So if I do that going forward, I can get ready the night before, be ready to do the show in the morning for you guys, and then afterwards I can make some clips real quick and then get on with my day. So it'll just be a lot easier. But the reason I was reminded of that just now is Joey Cannoli will be taking this time slot. So starting next week, Joey Cannoli will be streaming at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That will be 4 Eastern. Joey Cannoli will be taking my time slot. And then I'm supposed to have a guest today, so let me send the link out to him. All right, sent him the link. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions about that, let me know. Literally at work listening to your show now. Yeah, I know a lot of people listen to me while they're at work and stuff. I'm just saying that next week I am going to be doing things a little differently. So just a heads up for everybody. Let's see what we got. I'll be streaming in Joey's old slot too. Big changes around here. Yeah, looks like a lot of things are getting moved around, guys. The time slots for things are getting moved around. But it works out for me. It works out for Joey. If I start sooner, I have more time in the day for my personal life. And if I start sooner, that gives Joey the ability to start sooner so he can go do stuff for his day too. Because right now he does his gaming stuff in the morning, and then in between gaming and stuff while I do my show, he tries to go and get some stuff done. But he would much rather do his gaming stuff, go right into Outworld, and then get on with his day, come back for Nightcap later. So it'd just be better all around for everybody doing it that way. Let's see. Mr. Stork. Mr. Stork should be joining us. I don't want to jump to this next story just yet until he's here. And then, yeah, so Sean said he'll be streaming in Joey's old time slot, so that'll be cool. I guess I'll talk about this other story while we're waiting for Mr. Storky here. Talk about this story. So this one is not really political. I just thought this was, yeah, I try to bring up non-political stories every now and again. I thought this one was interesting. So we got this from SciTech Daily. Scientists have now discovered mysterious freshwater reservoir beneath the ocean floor. How did it get there? So this was actually from a few days ago. But it looks like a team drilled offshore in Nantucket and recovered cores with water near drinking quality. Studies will trace nitrogen cycling and measure the age of subsea floor reservoir. How did freshened water come to be trapped beneath the New England shelf? How long has it remained there, and what volume does it represent? So it looks like we have fresh water being extracted from under the ocean. This sounds pretty cool. Let's get Stork in here. He just popped in. Stork, I brought this story up while we were waiting for you. You probably missed the title, but scientists discover mysterious freshwater reservoir beneath the ocean floor. That's what we're talking about right now.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it?
Don't touch it.
Why? You don't want to summon Cthulhu?
Well, one, we don't. No. It's not that we're summoning Cthulhu. It's that we're going to piss him off because that's his only drinkable water source.
Yeah. How else are they supposed to get drinkable water in that dimension?
I mean, do you want pissed off Atlanteans? Because this is how you get pissed off Atlanteans.
I know. Yeah, don't take their non-salted water. That's fucked up.
Really fucked up.
So it says, how did here, I'll read it. We'll start back over because you just popped in. A team drilled offshore Nantucket and recovered cores with water near drinking quality. Studies will trace nitrogen cycling and measure the age of this subsea floor reservoir. How did freshened water come to be trapped beneath the New England shelf? How long does it remain there? And what volume does it represent? Rebecca Robinson, a professor at the University of Rhode Island Graduate School of Oceanography, is investigating these questions by analyzing materials collected from 3 offshore sites of Nantucket. Unusually fresh water below the sea floor. Sampling of this offshore freshened groundwater to the extent that we can make comprehensive geochemical assessment of its history, including its age, is unprecedented in scientific ocean drilling. The salinity levels of sediments below the seafloor are typically close to those in the overlying ocean, yet offshore New England, the sub-sea floor contains an unusually large reservoir of fresh water.
Yeah, study it, figure it out, learn what we can from it. Don't touch it.
Yeah, I want to figure out like how that happened. Like I want to know how it got separated from the rest of the water and how it's not being Uh,
I'm willing to bet that it permeated through some sort of a structure, left the salt and salinity essentially getting filtered out, and then formed an aquifer essentially below the ocean bed. Probably what happened. Probably just need to research it and figure out how that happened.
yeah, so that's basically what this article
We should
says.
leave
That
it the fuck alone.
Yeah, this article basically just says that it just goes into more detail about how this is actually more fresh than typical water found in the ocean, and they are going to be researching it to figure out how it happened and how it got there.
I'm just glad it's not oil because, then we'd have to bring it freedom.
See, Motley, that would be a theory there, filtered through the soil on the ocean floor, but they even commented that we just read that in other areas similar to where they found this, the water they would find under the ocean floor still had similar levels of salt content. So that's why this is unusual.
Are you familiar with the land east of the UK that used to be above the ocean? Are you familiar with this?
Sea levels don't rise, Stuart.
It's not that the sea level rose. They actually think that some of the a continental plate essentially they believe collapsed and fell below sea level
And
so
shifted, yeah.
It's kind of an interesting thing and whatnot, and I don't want to get too far into it. However, my question is if something similar happened or the ocean rose,
Oh, and then it created a pocket of fresh water.
it could have kept a pocket underneath, so we could just be looking at some really old ass water.
Hey, that's really cool, though. I like bringing up non-political stories every now and again. It's an interesting story for sure.
Cool. I think it's cool as hell, but
yeah,
it probably
definitely need to research it. I don't recommend drinking it. Anyway,
yo, bro, can we tap that keg?
Oh man. All right, so this is the story I actually wanted to get into, Stork, but we were waiting for you, so that's why I brought up that other one. But I am glad we got to talk about that while you were here. Let's get to this crazy stories of today. I basically only have like 3 main topics for the show today. But
no more Georgia. I'm tired of talking about Georgia, and I'm very interested in the topic, but no more Georgia.
I will only bring it up if you want me to. But so I have 3 topics today. 2 of them are going to take up more than half the show. So we'll just get through this first one, and then the rest of the show is going to be RFK and James O'Keefe. So I hope you guys like those topics because they're great topics. Some Deplorable said, it's not fresh water, it's an ocean of mead. Tap that keg. All right. Let's get to this.
I'm listening.
Let's get to this absolutely crazy news, Stork. This shit's wild, man. Guys, wife of ex-Nepali prime minister burned alive. Gen Z is revolting as the country is now engulfed in riots. What's happening here? They banned social media. They banned Facebook, X, YouTube. They banned social media. As Mad Stork pointed out when I was talking to him earlier, 20% of the younger generation doesn't have jobs. So 20% of the younger generation doesn't have jobs, and then you take away their ability to interact online. This is what you get.
Yeah, I don't see the need for people who are unemployed to interact or have lives. They should really be looking for work. So
that's why I played the song at the beginning here, Stork. Just work harder, right? Just work hard. That's what they always tell you. Just work harder.
Move it fast. It makes us stronger.
Oh, yeah. So, and the reason he's now the former prime minister is because he stepped down during these revolts. It says here the wife of the former prime minister in Nepal, Jala Nath Kanal, has died after she was burned alive when her home was set on fire amid violent anti-government protests in the country, regional media reported. The Nepalese parliament building and the homes of political leaders were torched in the unrest, which has plunged the Himalayan state into a full-blown crisis. The protests, which are being led by Gen Z, erupted on Monday in response to the government's ban on major social media platforms, combined with long-standing resentment about political corruption and lack of opportunities for young people. What to know? Around 2 million Nepalese people work abroad and send money home. Nepal's social media ban meant their families were no longer able to keep in touch with them. The government repealed...
So I was just curious.
Yeah. What?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
What were you going to add?
Curious, some some prime ministers, some people, they marry the hottie. Some of them go, I heard there was a president once, and he married like this model of some sorts, kind of thing. And so I'm always just curious when I hear about, oh, so and so's wife died or something like that. And so I looked it up, like a picture. They're very Nepalese looking, kind of thing. They are unmistakably Nepali. That's a face.
Yeah. Well,
Anyhow, sorry.
So, update as of today, the government has repealed the ban on Tuesday, today, with Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and other key officials now stepping down, but demonstrations continue to rage on. At least 22 people have died and hundreds have been hurt in the unrest. Tens of thousands have defied curfew as military calls for calm negotiations. Yeah, things are escalating quickly over there. Police are now opening fire on demonstrators. People, it says here, tens of thousands of people are in the streets rioting. It's getting crazy over there, guys. At least 10 countries signed statement affirming support for peaceful assembly in Nepal. Nepal deploys military in Kathmandu as protests escalate. Death toll rises to 22, more than 200 people injured. We'll keep updating as things go on, man, but they're in full revolution right now. Huh?
I'm getting a bad resolution of that image. Is that an M6 or what is that guy carrying? Because it's not an AK.
It's like an FAL, isn't it? At least that's what they call it in Call of Duty.
I'm getting the blurry feed on my side. Anyhow.
But yeah. So demonstrators in the streets rioting. They killed this guy's wife. Crazy stuff. We'll update it as things go on, man. But yeah, they're in like full revolt right now.
It's an FAL.
It is FAL. Okay, yeah, FNFAL. Okay.
FAL.
But yeah, do you have any comments on this story? This shit's crazy, man.
No, I'm just kind of impressed that they're not carrying around an AK. I guess the Himalayas kept the.
Well, you can see back there. Damn, look how rusted that one is. Look how rusted that gun is.
Oh, I know, man.
Sheesh.
Yeah,
might blow up in your hand, dude. Don't shoot that.
Big boy. What is that?
You talking about the gun back there? Anyhow, that's a very large gun, yeah.
Yeah. There's a big boy.
Oh, I need to be careful going through here.
Yeah. Let's not scroll more.
Yeah, I think that was good enough.
It's a very interesting story. Yeah, it's an interesting story. I wish that she hadn't passed away. That's about it, though, man. Like, as far as the Nepalese government goes, from what I understand, it's a pretty interesting country, and I don't understand the authoritarian take that they took to deal with this issue.
I mean, banning social media, they knew that was going to go bad. Come on. There's no way you can tell me that was not going to go bad.
My question is not whether or not that was good. My question is why.
Yeah, why?
Like, I'm Ryan Reynoldsing this, like, but why? Was there like some sort of upheaval thing? Was there like some anti-government? Were they having a problem with terrorism? Like, what was the purpose of the banning of that? And that I never heard an answer to that question.
It was probably purely political, like you pointed out. They have a very large unemployment rate. Sean said why earlier. Scroll up. They canceled the social media access because the kids of the rich rulers were posting videos, etc., with all their fancy Gucci gear.
You know what's fucked up about that?
So all the elites with their fancy toys were bragging about it, and all the people that were poor and living in squalor and can't find jobs started revolting.
You know what's fucked up about that, right?
Same shit's happening here.
Well, same shit's starting to happen, but no. What happened in South Korea before the president stepped down? Before the
ban social media?
No, well, it wasn't just the ban. For national security reasons, they arrested a bunch of newspapers and basically put a gag on all the stories coming out about the government. So for national security reasons, they said, nope, you're not allowed to do that. We're not allowed to talk about this anymore. And it was because his wife, man, I got to pull up this story.
Sean said, yep, you got it.
Self-serving.
So they shut down social media thinking it would end the complaints, but they didn't understand. The social media was the pressure release valve. Banning it just added pressure.
Yeah, he declared martial law, and yeah, it was basically all from that. The failed martial law declaration in December 2024, and fake news. Oh yeah. It was because of fake news that was being shared about his wife.
Wow. Yeah, no, I remember that story when that was going down too. And Tim didn't report on that stuff either. So
Yeah, well, he also made some comments about linguistics and a whole bunch of other stuff about like how all the ones for mama or whatever were the same, and it, I could think of like half a dozen languages where it's not mama.
yeah.
And
All
I'm
right.
just like,
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'll keep updating that story. There's gonna obviously it's gonna be it's still ongoing. The riots are only escalating. So we'll see how far it goes. I don't know. Let's jump to this because I wanted to play this yesterday. Get this up on your screen. You can see that, right, Stork?
yep.
This was
I don't
posted.
know why you're just coming through with bad quality. I don't know if my connection's bad or what it
No,
is.
that's just
Anyhow.
Vid Ninja. As long as you, it's mainly the audio I need you to hear. Just watch it from my camera, maybe.
That's all good. Anyhow, keep going.
So, guys, this was posted by our president, and I think the video just speaks for itself. So, Donald Trump posted this.
Show them the thimerosal bomb, which we keep in a metal container because we're a little afraid of it, and it's a very fine powder.
This is thimerosal, which is labeled very toxic, has
I apologize for the quality. This is the best we're gonna get.
cumulative effects, can cause damage to the kidneys, to the respiratory system, skin, to the nervous system. It specifically warns on here that it can cause reproductive and developmental toxicity, meaning that it can cause things like autism and other neurodevelopmental disorders. This is immensely toxic stuff.
And it's in vaccine.
And this is what's in the vaccine. It's important to realize we're talking about a whole range of products. Vaccines are a big one because, of course, you're directly injecting it. For example, this is tetanus vaccine. This one expires, it's a little outdated now, in 2007. And here's the thimerosal. 1 to 10,000 is a preservative. Perhaps the biggest one in the U.S., at least, that's for exposure to mercury is the influenza vaccine. Influenza vaccine is now recommended for all pregnant women, all infants, all children on a yearly basis. You're supposed
You
to
have
get that
last
shot.
year's influenza?
So we'll pause here. This is the ingredient that RFK Jr. just ordered be removed from vaccines. Thimerosal, also known as mercury. So Donald Trump posted this video, and we're gonna play the rest of it. I just wanted to pause here so we can cut it up a little bit and clarify that. Do you have anything to add, Stork, before we move on?
I mean, we'll get to it after it's done, but yeah, I've got a lot to add on that subject because
Okay.
you know why they add it, right?
It's a preservative. No?
Nope, we'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay, because that's what they say they add it for, but we'll talk about it.
Understand that thimerosal is not added at the end. It's not like, well, that factory next year can make thimerosal free. Thimerosal, you either have to have a thimerosal free factory or you have to not have one. They add thimerosal at each step because the factory is not clean and not sterile. So you either have to have an expensive sterile factory where you don't need thimerosal, or you have to have one that produces thimerosal. It's going to need thimerosal or something the whole time. It needs to be stopped.
This is the influenza vaccine from Adventist Pasteur, their flu zone. Thimerosal, 25 micrograms of mercury per dose.
But I'd like to point out that a lot of people didn't know, and I'm one of them. I've given 2,000 Rogam shots. I've been in vaccines for 35 years. I didn't know that Rogam had thimerosal in it, So I think a lot of the doctors were unaware. They were unaware that even the word thimerosal meant mercury.
And we saw that exact issue during COVID when people would ask about the ingredients of the COVID vaccine. People would ask about the ingredients of the COVID vaccine, and they would be told that, oh, all this stuff is safe. But these doctors don't even know what the fucking ingredients are. And so was that your point? They don't add it as a preservative. They add it to make sure that it's clean.
Not just that, but a lot of the shit that they're actually adding to these vaccines that's coming out with RFK Jr. and some of the stuff, and we may talk about it or something.
I have many articles for RFK today.
Yeah. But one of the things they add this for is to basically provoke your immune to respond to the vaccine, because in a lot of cases, the vaccine or the whatever formulation of whatever it is, sometimes the body's just like, it's not a problem. We'll just clean that out. It's nothing to really pay attention to. The kidneys will get that when it gets down there, and it'll be dealt with. So what they do is they put an antagonist in there to basically poke at your immune system to respond, and that's how that works. And I don't know if thimerosal is, but I'm pretty sure it is. It's added essentially to provoke an immuno-inflammatory response, which gets the body essentially to start producing white blood cells and release all of them that kind of go. The word Stork is looking for it is adjuvant. Yeah. Correct. And so, yeah, that's what it's trying to do. But I've had some health issues over the last couple of years. And you know what the one thing that like constantly I've been trying to like overcome and reduce in my body is inflammation. Like it's apparently one of the greatest things that ages you, causes developmental issues, cognitives, dementia, Alzheimer's,
stress on your body caused by inflammation.
Yeah. All of this stuff. Basically, one of the things your body does with sleep is reduce inflammation.
Well, that's why sleep is so important. They literally tell you if you don't sleep, your body will start to eat its own brain.
Yeah. And so all of these things and everything that I just said, and they want to inject you with this shit when you're basically a day old.
Yeah, when your immune system hasn't even developed. Not really, anyway, because you get your antibodies and stuff from your mother.
Yeah, I can tell you, son of Wiggum, I have never fucking had a flu shot. Just never.
I got convinced to take a tetanus shot earlier this year, and now that I know that I just got injected with mercury, I'm fucking pissed.
Well, I had to take a tetanus shot because I had kind of a rusty nail situation, and I was worried, so I went and got a tetanus shot. But this is what fucking is now, man.
Yeah, and I love Bush's comment here. Bush, you fucking nail on the head, man. Well, excuse the hell out of me for expecting a sterile factory for vaccines. Excuse the hell out of me.
Well,
asking for too much.
I'm not going to talk about Georgia, but I've got questions about sterile factories. Anyhow, keep going.
Yeah, right. Shit. I've not been taking the flu vax for about 15 years. I was forced to get them until I was out of high school. Then I just don't think about it until I was around 25. Yeah, I got all my vaccines and stuff for school, but I haven't gotten any vaccines since, except for the tetanus shot. I got tetanus shot because I've been working with, I was doing a lot of metal work and stuff. Working with rusty metal on old cars and stuff. So my doctor recommended that I get a tetanus shot because it had been so long.
No, mine was bad. I stepped on a carpet tack strip or whatever, and basically ended it with a hole because I'd taken my shoes off, kind of thing, and it stuck through. And then that like puncture just kept getting worse, and I was like,
tetanus, yeah.
Hey, do I have tetanus? And so I hadn't been vaccinated for it in 20 years, so I was like, yeah, I gotta go get a shot.
If Trump doesn't start talking about how vaccines are inherently unsafe by their own definition, he's not really looking to fix vaccines. We're gonna get to a story here in a bit, Sean, but Florida did some stuff, and Trump doesn't like it. We'll talk about it. Let's move to this next story, because this is still in the same vein of what we're talking about here, Stork.
Sean, I'm confused though. Trump talks about what RFK is doing.
He has a little bit. Though I will counter that point with, One of the things that he said about RFK Jr. recently was that he was going too hard. So Trump has made comments, and they're not in favor.
I think what he means by that is RFK Jr. is making his base hard, and he doesn't like the distraction.
That's probably, yeah, the RFK Jr. is definitely taking the limelight.
It's easy to do when you don't talk about anything your administration is doing.
Let me tell you about the vaccines in the military. Ooh, dude, I don't want to hear it. My brother used to tell me about all the stuff he'd get injected with, and I'm like, why?
Dude,
Why?
I don't know, dude, but
Damn, Bush got a crazy story. He said his ex got the basic flu shot and was paralyzed from the waist down for 2 weeks. It went away on its own. She was completely okay after, but it caused some minor permanent issues. Dude, did she get some money for that? Holy fuck, I'd sue so fast.
You know what's interesting about that is most of that's caused by an immunoresponse from inflammation.
Inflammation.
To your nervous system.
Trump did post the thimerosal video, but that's because that's blatant and obvious. There's no arguing against that, Sean. Trump would be an idiot to argue against the thimerosal stuff, but he has made comments. I should probably find him. Trump has made comments recently about RFK Jr. going a little too hard on vaccines. See if I could find the comments here.
Well, wasn't there a caller on Timcast not too long ago talked about like his baby, like them like threatening to call the Child Protective Services because he refused some vitamin shot that was like pointless. It was like vitamin K or some shit.
So Donald Trump has not mentioned RFK on Truth Social in over a year. I just searched his entire Truth Social. I just typed RFK, just RFK, over a year. Let's see.
I don't think that mRNA vaccines should be anywhere near children.
And then HHS. So he did mention HHS in June. Program to study long-term health effects of the chemical spill in East Palestine. Yeah, Trump doesn't talk about it nearly enough. Let's see, but let's jump to this one I have on screen for you here, Stork. We have this one from the Vigilant Fox. Updated Pfizer and Moderna mRNA shots contaminated with DNA up to 627 times above the safety limits. A peer-reviewed study finds all vials contained billions to hundreds of billions of DNA fragments, including SV40, Spike, and ORI. What are these? Let's get that off the screen. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Guest post. A newly published peer-reviewed study by Dr. David J. Speecher, Dr. Jessica Rose, and Kevin McKernan have confirmed that both Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna COVID-19 mRNA injections are contaminated with residual plasmid DNA at levels up to 627 times higher than international regulatory safety limits. The contamination was not limited to older formulations. The bivalent XBB-1-5 versions also contain DNA residue, proving the problem has not been corrected. The study analyzed 32 vials representing 16 unique Pfizer and Moderna mRNA injection slots and found every vial contained billions to hundreds of billions of DNA fragments, many encapsulated in lipid nanoparticles that act as delivery vehicle into human cells. Wow. Wow, isn't that amazing? Isn't that great?
Maybe I just don't understand mRNA technology, but are you familiar with CRISPR?
Yes.
Like who in the chat, you guys, whatever, are familiar with CRISPR?
Yeah, I know what CRISPR
is. You take your cells, extract them, and then use different methods essentially to edit the genetic code and then inject it back into your body. So it's yourself, edit, back in. From what I understand, mRNA technology, they basically take some genetic code out here, edit it to be what they want it to be, and then inject that and get your body to react to the mRNA to achieve the goal that they're going after.
They're
And I guess,
literally
like,
trying to alter your DNA through a vaccine. Yeah.
yeah. Well, technically, all vaccines edit your DNA. So a lot of people, they're like, "Oh, I'm 50% my mom and my dad." Oh, so pretty. No,
Shitty
that's
Gov
not
said he's
actually
familiar
how it
with
works.
crispy chicken. What the fuck is CRISPR?
CRISPR is CRSPR. It's a genetic editing kind of thing. It's kind of interesting. I don't want to get too far into it, but I guess we have to a little bit. But the
Some
mRNA
deplorable
stuff,
said that they splice in new pieces of code. They don't write new genetic code yet.
yeah. And that's what CRISPR is essentially. And you can do that by different methods and mRNA. But from what I understand, mRNA, or I want to get back to this. Some people think that you're 50% your mom and you're 50% your dad. That's not true. Your mom has something called mitochondria. Those get passed along. And then when you're a baby in your very first day, you're like 51 to 52% your mom and 58, 49% your dad. Okay. The very minute that you get a cold, you're no longer genetically that mix because literally the virus changes your DNA, if that makes sense.
No, it does.
So literally, the longer you are alive, the more different you are from your parents. So by the time you're like, 40 years old, like my old ass, you're no longer what it was you were as a kid. You're like 96, 97% what you were. Like you have been changed. So the idea that, any of that, the reason I'm bringing all of this up is your DNA is not even the same as it was 5 years ago. And mRNA is so drastically fucking different from what it is you are because the technology doesn't take your existing or a month ago or a year ago or any of that shit. It takes DNA that, from what I understand, is completely fucking foreign from what it is you are, and then puts it in there. I'm the 54. Fuck you, Boosh. Anyhow,
I've got 10% of my mom, 10% of me and your mom.
I got 12% of me and yours. Anyhow,
got about 6%.
anyhow, no. But it's completely foreign DNA.
Lol,
And so
Stork
the
is on crack.
question-
What?
What's that? Hold on.
Sean said you're on crack.
Well, Stork is on crack, maybe.
Sean said to let him on, and you're butchering biology.
Probably. I'm not even. I'm not. I don't even, this is my very remedial understanding of this shit. And please, because I gotta go soon. So I mean, let him on, please.
He's got to DM me then, Sean, if you want to be on.
Yeah, seriously, I'm not. Can't figure it out. Whatever.
Send him the invite.
Send me the invite. Yeah. So to my understanding, and this is what everybody told me at the beginning of COVID and all this shit, right? Is that mRNA technology, we know the part that was edited. But the rest of that fucking genetic code and everything, they hope it's good.
So while we're waiting for him, we'll read here. It says, in the Pfizer vials, investigators also detected SV40 promoter enhancer sequences, potent genetic elements known for nuclear targeting and tumorigenic potential. Does that mean cancerous?
Yeah, basically it causes tumors, but not no, they're not saying essentially that it's bad cancer, good cancer. They're not saying your body can't get rid of the cancers or the tumors. It's just saying it's a tumor.
It's a tumor. But if it has a bunch of this promoter enhancer, wouldn't that increase your chances of actually getting cancer that won't go away?
So kind of an interesting thing that I've understood in the space is when your telomeres, things that would prolong your telomeres would also increase your risk of developing a tumor. And so there's this kind of balance essentially of your telomeres need to get shorter over time, but the things that would lengthen and or prolong them essentially cause that. And so I'm kind of wondering in this case if they're just causing a faster cycle essentially to reach the state of cell senescence, so that you're having a faster turnover of your cells, if that's what's actually causing the tumor, or yeah, that's basically how I would say that works.
Good chance of messing up your blood.
Well, I mean, if you increase the rate of cell turnover, you're going to increase your rate of, or your chances of cancer, because the more your cells have divided, the more of a chance for cancer you have, to my understanding. They are saying whether it's bad cancer or good cancer. Pretty much. I mean, here's the thing. The truth is your body develops all kinds of tumors that your body also gets rid of. So,
well, I want to read this here too. It says extreme DNA contamination. Pfizer contained 371 to over 1,500 ng of DNA per dose. Moderna doses contain about 1,100 to over 6,000 per dose. The FDA and the World Health Organization limit it at 10, not 10,000, not 1,000, 10.
From what I understand, and again, this is what I have friends who do medical research, this and that, and they're maybe one of the reasons that some of my concepts of this may be a little more fucked up is because these people who've tried to explain it to me, they're not teachers, they're fucking researchers, you know what I mean? The people doing the work are not always the best people to try to explain the work, because they're not teachers. And maybe that's why maybe I'm making some mistakes. But what they told me essentially when all this started going down was, I'm not worried about the piece of code that they edited. I'm worried about everything else, like everything in the shot that they didn't edit. And that's the shit I'm worried about. And so that's the way they explained it to me, was it was not a big deal, like the parts that they knew they edited correctly. So my bad. Nope. Still sub button.
Yeah, I was gonna tell Shitty Gov, click my name and go to my page. Go to my page, get away from the stream. That's how you do the subs.
The problem, son of Wiggum, is that they're going to claim as you age, you're more likely to get blood clots to begin with. So was it the vaccine, or was it this other thing? I mean, that's where the bullshit is.
Hang on.
Where's Sean, by the way? I need to be called out.
Well, apparently Sean can see you, but can't see me. Let me try to refresh. Reload. Hello? Okay, I have refreshed, and you're here. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, hello. Can you hear me, Stork?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can see the thing or whatever, as I always see it.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Oh, wait. No.
Did he click the little box thing on the edges, like when you hover over something on...
I may have sent him your link.
What the fuck, man?
You know what I mean? Because I have to get a link to put you into the OBS. I may have sent him that. I just recopied the invite.
Try double clicking on me though, because maybe you've zoomed in on me. So
no, oh wait, hang on. Looking at the other link, I think I did do that. I think I sent him your link. That's probably why he was able to see you. I just wanted him to have a personal show, you know? He was so upset with what you were saying and being wrong. I wanted him to just see it personally. There we go, Sean.
No. Like I said, I am not a biologist, man. Like, I understand the basics functions of things. I understand kind of how chemistry works. I understand the physics of shit really well.
Welcome to the show, Sean. You gotta unmute yourself.
By all means, come and lay the smack down. What am I wrong about?
All right. Can you hear me?
There you go. Yep.
Okay. So first off, disclaimer.
Enlighten us.
It's not that the things specifically that you said are wrong. It's that the framework is wrong. Because if so let's jump back, right? Because when I said that, you were talking about DNA being changed by viruses, right?
That is true, though.
That is true, but it's only true for the cells that were infected by that virus. It's not true for your DNA code. Your entire body, your lung gets infected, right? But the cell that is the like the stem cell that is at the basal layer of that tissue didn't get infected. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
Those
but the
cells
stem
die
cell
off
is
and
not
get
what
replaced.
replicates, it's your cell.
The cell, you're saying the stem cell doesn't replicate? Are you sure?
No, I'm saying the stem cell does replicate, but I'm saying the part of your body essentially that caught the virus is going to replicate as well.
Right. My point is that part's going to die and it's going to get replaced by the stem cells pieces that replicated. Because that's what
Yes,
stem cells do is they replicate and they replace the other cells over time. So
yes,
like
but
those cells are going to die off.
as your cell subdivides, part of its genetic code stays the same. And it's not the stem cell that is, I mean, the stem cell does replicate. I'm not trying to deny that. I'm not trying to say
It
it's
completely
not.
replaces it. That's my point.
Yes, but your
So like
existing cell also subdivides.
yes, but it dies. And there are
They-
systems in place that you're not wrong when you're saying that it stays there and it also has that viral insert in it.
Yes,
But that cell is dated. It's going to
yes.
die. It's going to get replaced in time. And what does it get replaced with? The copies of the stem cell that did not get infected.
Okay, then I'm confused because my basic understanding of biology is that that cell itself divides at some point, and the genetic code in that cell essentially is changed.
Yes, but so you have to look at the way that the layers of the tissue itself is set up.
Okay.
It's going to keep dividing and it's going to keep dividing and it's going to keep dividing as it goes from the basal layer all the way up to the laminal layer. Yes.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's going
Two
to slough
questions.
off and the ones on the laminal layer die. Like they get scraped off, they die off, they get
Well, once the cell essentially reaches senescence, your body
Yes.
goes through and your LDL
But it gets
cholesterol and a whole bunch of other things essentially scrape
but
out
it's
the
happening
cell.
in layers, right? So
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like let's say for the sake of the demonstration, up is like into the center, right?
Okay.
And then down here at the bottom is like where the stem cell is living, right?
Yeah.
The stem cell copies itself, one stays down and it makes another one. That one then splits and it splits and it splits and it goes up, right? But
Yeah.
these ones slew off. They get replaced by the bottom ones eventually. So yes, that top layer is infected, but that's like saying the copy of the blueprint that was handed out to the architect, or not to the architect, but to the builder, right? That's like saying the copy was tainted. It's not the original. That's all I'm
First
saying.
off, just making sure that they have the right plans and not a revision is a problem.
Wait,
Sure.
so
Like,
what I want to
Yeah,
add,
you're not wrong.
what
That's where the cancers and the tumors and stuff came from. Yeah,
I
sorry.
do
Go
have
ahead,
two questions essentially that I have in this, but Tyler, you go first.
I just wanted to add what it sounds like when you're explaining this, Sean. It sounds like your cells themselves can get sick, and then that illness can be removed.
Yes, and the remnants of that illness are going to be, in theory. Let's say the stem cell itself does get infected, then he's right. Every copy that comes from it is gone. But in the majority of practical terms, right? It's infecting the outer layers.
Cell issue.
Cancer is, but we were talking about viruses, and you're saying that the viruses are changed. Cancer comes in a way where there are how do I phrase this? There are systems in place that your cells check before they're supposed to reproduce.
Yeah.
There's like, you remember the cell cycle, that circle? There's like 3, I think, if I remember right, of the basic checks where it has to, if this is not done, then do not continue along the cycle. If eventually it doesn't actually split.
Some Deplorable has a question. He said, at what point does my entire body become made out of COVID vax?
You know, that's the problem.
This is a serious question, though. Like,
yeah.
That
but
is right.
Shitty Guff says around shot number 47.
That's which. At what point do we start calling the booster not a booster anymore? Because you remember that, right? The first shot was the shot, and then the second shot was the booster, and then the third shot,
and then the fourth, and then the fifth became the booster.
Well,
yeah, when the third one came out, the first and second was just a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the time you got to shot number 4, they were like, "Oh, you've already had the Moderna 3 times. Now you need to go get the Pfizer."
Yeah. So y'all should look up the word reverse transcriptase, because in the process of taking your DNA and reading it and creating a protein, there's a process called there's an enzyme called transcriptase that does that, right? It's the A's is an enzyme. Transcript is it's the one transcribing. Reverse transcriptase, right? So transcriptase takes DNA and makes RNA from it. But reverse transcriptase reads RNA and makes an equivalent DNA out of it. And that's what's happening in a lot of people's cells if they got the shot. Because the code to make the spike protein is being reversed by reverse transcriptase, which is in most viruses, and it's plugging into the DNA. So as long as that cell is alive, then the thing Stork is talking about is
taking that on as well.
It depends on exposure, because the thing is that it's flowing through the bloodstream, so it drifts from the bloodstream through the interstitia into I'm sorry, I got words popped in front of my face. I started reading them. Couldn't help it.
No, that's just what we're bringing up next. That's what we're bringing up next. Sorry, it's the stream can't see it yet. The stream can't see it yet.
I know.
Sorry.
I
was worried that was gonna happen. God damn it.
My bad, bro. My bad.
Well, because normally you have the thing that's on the screen with you at the same time, and you're changing the order of the thing, and we don't. Anyway, it's fine. And keep going.
It's all good. It's all good. That's my fault. I apologize. I lost the momentum. But so reverse transcriptase reads the RNA and makes DNA, and that's the problem that people are talking about with COVID. That's what got a lot of people blocked in the beginning, because they were called crazy and shit because that doesn't happen, but it's been proven.
What you've said has made it clear what it is, the parts that I was right and parts I was wrong about. I didn't get to bring up those two other things, and I'm not going to go visit them again because I'm running out of time. But two, what you just said made what it is I said about mRNAs even more true and worse sounding.
It's just the difference is if it gets into the stem cell. That's the key point I'm trying to make, because it flows from the blood. Because it flows from the bloodstream into, like, if it injects straight into the muscle, your muscles aren't dividing anyway, so that's not a thing. Right? But it flows through the interstitia, it gets picked up, it gets put in the bloodstream, it goes through the rest of the body, and then it flows from the bloodstream to the tissue, right? But
what I mean though is what I was saying about they've edited this much of the code that's being injected.
Yes.
And the rest of it, they don't know what the fuck is in that code.
Yes.
That makes what I said earlier even worse, because they don't know what the fucking code is.
Dude, I wrote a paper on this I passed a biology class without going to the class because I wrote a term paper on this shit.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what's your degree in, man?
So I'm clinical nutrition, but I studied like food chemistry, right?
Okay, cool.
So chemistry and then
is my worst subject, to be clear. That's why I'm like, this is the best I understand it, because this part of biology, I'm just like.
Takashita Gov said it's safer to do heroin than vaccines. I don't know about that.
Tyler Today News does not endorse this message.
I do not endorse that message.
In theory, a single dose might be, because the metal stays in your body forever. But don't do heroin. Fuck all that. Heroin was invented because Bayer aspirin was trying to get people off of morphine addiction.
Solid plan. Let's see how that works out for him. Well, on that metal note and whatnot, I have been kind of reading about that and trying to figure out how that works out, because we know through, for example, bleeding kind of thing, the blood can leave your body. Not advising this or anything, but we know that that's actually one of the ways that women lose a lot of iron essentially through menstruation, but men don't have that menstruation process. So iron doesn't leave your body as frequently. And so there's a lot of questions I had about that kind of thing when I looked it up a couple of months ago. And so copper is one of the things that got brought up a lot, because copper is not one of those things that regularly leaves the body as well. But, they're talking about mercury.
Right.
And I don't think our bodies are very well equipped to get rid of mercury.
Not at all.
Guys, but what is but we still don't have the answer to the most important question. What is the powerhouse of the cell?
42.
The powerhouse of the cell is the mitochondria, and your heart is not your engine. Your heart is merely a pump.
Exactly.
It's like a vortex pump. Yeah.
It's kind of a cool pump,
drawing everything
but
in
it's
and
still
shoving it back out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your mitochondria is the engine that is in every single one of your cells, and your pump is delivering the fuel to all of them. Or
Yeah.
Can I boost Stork or drop Sean? Well, I think Stork's not going to stay much longer.
I can drop
I've got to
myself.
leave.
No,
soon,
I
'cause gotta
dropped
go
you
pick
on
up
here. It's
Lloyd.
fine.
Cool.
So
you
anyhow,
also you don't actually suck air in. You pull bones apart that makes a vacuum that makes air want to come in.
Right.
And then you
there are all
squeeze
kinds of small facts like this that I found out in the last 2 years. And for most people, they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "No. That's true." For instance, your poop isn't really the food in most cases. Most of the time, unless you eat corn and a whole bunch of other stuff, it's actually dead bacteria that has eaten your food. And people are like,
There's a lot
"What?"
of truth
I'm
to
like,
that.
"What's that?"
So there's a lot of truth to that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just, the people are just like, "What?" I mean, it's not entirely right. It's, you're
T-bone.
still getting a lot of fiber and everything. But no, that is right. And when I told somebody that, they were just like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "Sorry." Sometimes
When you
I
call
just
Mad
read some weird
Stork, if
shit.
he was a fork, you'd call him Mad Fork.
Pretty much.
All right, okay. There,
Anyhow, I gotta go.
Yeah, you get out of here. We're gonna move on to the next story. Sean,
Yeah.
you're welcome to hang out if you want, or if you want to step down, up to you. But I'm gonna do an ad.
Thanks for the info, though, because I told you when I started this, I know I'm wrong. So please correct me.
Thank you, Sean. That was great. Thank you guys for the conversation.
Seriously.
Later,
Anytime.
Stork. And then Sean, did you want to stay and hang out, or were you gonna peace out?
I mean, I'll stick around. It doesn't matter, but it looks like for your scene, I may need to switch cameras.
Yeah, that's my problem. Don't you worry about that. I just gotta see what I gotta do here. I gotta go to this camera, put you here. If I can open it, hello? Now it doesn't want to open. What the?
You're the OBS wizard. You'll make it happen.
Okay, well now it doesn't even want to open. Oh, never mind. It's because I'm Ricky Retardo. Don't question me. Okay, there we go. And then I gotta delete your thing here so you don't double. There.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Okay. And then I'm going to do an ad read real quick. So we did all that just for me to go to my desk. Boom. All right, let's see. This one, obviously, I got to do this one for Shitty Gov. He's been requesting it the past, week. So I got to give it to him. Got to give it to him. Got to get my boy's ad read right here for him. This one's for you, Shitty Gov. All right, outdoor crew, if you're into fishing, camping, or getting off the grid, meet your new best friend, the Hunter Orange 25-quart cooler from Caddis Sports. This isn't your average cooler. It's roto-molded for max durability, bear-proof, and 20% lighter than other brands. So it's easy to haul when you're deep in the backcountry or just setting up at the dock. You'll get up to 3 days of ice retention thanks to thick, high-performance insulation. That means cool drinks, fresh food, and fewer ice runs. When you're chasing muttons offshore or posted up at a campsite, best part, it's 40 to 50% cheaper than the big name coolers, but still built to perform season after season. And like all Caddis Sports name brand gear, it's proudly made in the United States of America. Use code RUMBLE at checkout for 10% off your order today. That's caddissports.com. Go grab the Hunter Orange 25-quart cooler and keep your next adventure ice cold. There you go, Shitty Gov. I got your ad read in for you. And then let's shift things back around over here. All right, welcome back, Sean. We're back. We're back from the ad break. Yeah, no, that was a really good conversation with you and Stork. I'm glad we could have you on to have that conversation. Everyone in the chat was really enjoying it too. I don't know if you guys were reading the chat while you guys were talking. Everyone in the chat said it was a really good conversation. But oh wait, are you muted?
Oh yeah, I muted myself so I didn't talk through your ad, and I forgot to unmute myself.
There you go.
My bad.
Dude, I do that at the start of my video. Sometimes I'll start talking and then Boosh or something will be in the chat and be like, unmute yourself. I'm like, oh god damn it.
You know, I'm a
I
professional.
just did my whole intro.
Yeah, exactly. Let me just start this over and delete that clip for later.
Yeah, right. Sheesh. Yeah, and then you go edit later and you're like, well, I'm retarded. Anyway, so let's get to this next story that distracted you in the middle of your conversation with Stork. Let's get to this next story, guys. RFK Jr., he's got big things going on, guys. This is so this is from yesterday. RFK Jr. exposes former CDC vaccine chief Dr. Dmitry Daskalakis, who blocked RFK for 7 months from accessing vaccine safety data and withheld funds from Texas measles response. So the corruption at the CDC just got blown wide open during a bombshell appearance on Fox and Friends Sunday. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. revealed that former CDC vaccine chief Dmitry Daskalakis actively stonewalled life-saving funds meant for Texas during a dangerous measles outbreak, and then blocked RFK Jr. himself from accessing critical vaccine safety data for 7 straight months. Why? Why would someone do that? It kind of seems like they're trying to hide something, huh?
Yeah.
As the Gateway pundit,
and it might come down to like he was not allowed to or whatever by law. It might come down to something like that, but who the hell would put that law in unless they're trying to hide something?
Yeah, the leader of the HHS doesn't allow. They're not allowed to have access to the critical vaccine safety data info. That's ridiculous. If he's the leader of the HHS but doesn't have access to that info, I would say whoever does have access is leading the HHS.
Bingo.
Anyway, as the Gateway pundit previously reported, Daskalakis bolted from his role as director of the CDC National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Diseases just hours after CDC Director Susan Manarez was unceremoniously ousted. His exit came the very same day RFK Jr. announced sweeping reform to dismantle the failed vaccine mandates that crushed our economy and stripped away Americans' freedoms. Looks like here's the interaction they had here. Instead of reading all that, why don't we just play the damn clip?
Yeah, I mean, that individual actually came to my attention.
Oh, it's so quiet.
Because early on during the measles outbreak,
I can't boost it anymore, guys. Sorry. Here, I'm going to restart it. I can't boost it anymore. I'm just going to... Sean, let's just be quiet for the entire clip so that way people can turn the volume up. I'm going to mute my mic and play the clip.
Yeah, I mean, that individual actually came to my attention because early on during the measles outbreak, I promised Governor Abbott to send some money down, badly needed money, and help down to Texas. And this individual blocked that money for a month. I couldn't figure out what's happening. I gave the order. I'm running this agency. How come nothing's happening? And then we tried to get the vaccine safety data link, which is the data that supposedly the CDC tries to use to make good decisions on whether vaccines are hurting people and not whether there are side effects. For 7 months, he stonewalled us so that we could not get that data. He's also the individual that runs the VAERS system, which is the surveillance system for injuries. That captures, according to CDC's own study, fewer than 1% of vaccine injuries. This is malpractice. These people are the people who ordered our children to walk around in masks. They're the people who closed our schools. They're the people who imposed social distancing with no science, shut down our businesses, and they need to go. We need new blood, and we need new people who are committed to public health and integrity and gold standard science. And the Trump administration is going to make sure that happens.
You know, Secretary, you...
Unmute, turn your volume down. Okay, I know it's really hard to hear him sometimes, so that's why I gave you guys that uninterrupted moment so you could turn your volumes up. Dude, based beyond based. Like, every single thing he said was just spot on. And what makes me think about this is there was something he said in there. He said a lot of really important things. But what he's talking about here is fewer than 1% vaccine injuries. The VAERS system, the system that we have in place for finding vaccine injuries, finds fewer than 1% of vaccine injuries. Quite literally malpractice. That he's spot on with that. That's intentional. When the VAERS system, which is put in place to discover vaccine injuries, discovers only 1%, less than 1% of the total vaccine injuries, that's on purpose. That is by design.
Yeah. It's all like voluntary reporting, and unless you go tell your doctor and like push them to do it, they're never going to file the report.
And then, so that's what that. Okay, I just remember what I was gonna say. What he's talking about. He said, "I'm the leader of the HHS. I gave out these orders. Why isn't it happening?" As soon as he said that, it reminded me exactly of Donald Trump's first term. I'm putting out these orders. Why isn't it happening? It's because all these people below you get the order sent to them, and then it stops. It stops there. It doesn't. It doesn't move down the pipe.
Yeah, that's a good point, because the first term, the whole idea is that the reason he didn't get all the stuff he wanted done is because these orders weren't being passed down, and now he's kind of got like one ring around him of people that are really on his side, but everybody outside of that is still corrupt.
Isn't VAERS a self-reporting system as well? It is a self-reporting system, but no one is ever followed up on. So you go and report that stuff, you self-report your stuff, and that's why no one ever believes the VAERS reporting stuff, because none of it's followed up on. It's just anecdotal, personal experience, but these things should be followed up on. If someone makes a report with this should be followed up with their doctor.
Agreed.
And then we only have about 20 minutes in the show. We'll probably end up going a little bit over. I don't want to go into Joey's show too much. We're just gonna move to the next story, because I'm sure Sean will have some thoughts on this next one as well. So let's move to this next story. Let me get that.
That's what it is.
There we go. Florida has now ended vaccine mandates and what it could mean for the rest of the United States. Experts said the policy would lead to more illnesses and hospitalizations. Florida's Surgeon General made a surprising announcement last week that the state is moving to end all vaccine mandates. Dr. Joseph Ladapo said that the Florida Department of Health would be working with Governor Ron DeSantis' office to end all mandates in state law. DeSantis noted that some vaccine mandates would be removed immediately, while others would require legislative intervention. Ladapo said that the parents should be able to choose what vaccines they want their children to receive or not receive. In a statement to ABC News, Florida Department of Health said that the change will go into effect 90 days after September 3rd, the September 3rd announcement, and will include the removal of I can't say that word right now. Removal of immunization requirements, close enough, for the hepatitis B vaccine, chickenpox vaccine, Haemophilus influenza, okay, vaccine, and pneumococcal okay, I don't know what the fuck these words are. All these different vaccines. Other vaccines including, okay, I'm not even going to try to name this, tetanus, measles, mumps, rubella. So those ones are going to have to be updated through legislation. It looks like several pediatricians and public official experts told ABC News that high vaccination rates and nationwide vaccination campaigns have led to eradication of diseases such as polio and a low number of cases for other diseases compared to decades ago. They said the removal of mandates, including those required to attend school, will likely lead to more infections, hospitalizations, and even death among children. I have a solution for this, Sean. If an illness, if an illness is removed from the country, we no longer have that illness. How does that illness get reintroduced to the country?
Yeah, this is the problem, because it's a semantic debate. They've shifted the definition of what it means to eradicate a disease, and because it's not eradicated, it's just that you're you are maybe providing resistances, but the side effects of those resistances are those metal poisonings we were talking about earlier.
Yep. Hungry Hades talking to Ish in the chat. He said that California education showing strong here. I know I can't read. I'm sorry.
Separately, like, dude, they've injected, like, purposely given rats metal intoxication from mercury and things like that, right? And the results, like the side effects of it, what happens is indistinguishable from autism.
Yep. Yeah.
And he's talking about like poliomyelitis, streptococcus, like I studied in California too. You just got to study that subject.
Yeah. But point being, like, families should be able to decide if these are vaccines are going to be administered to them or not. And that's always the funniest thing, right? If you get a vaccine, it's supposed to protect you. Why do I need to get the vaccine?
Yeah. So, and it goes back to like the whole premise of our medicine in America is like after the whole Nazi thing, right? We had the Nuremberg codes, and we put doctors and nurses to death for experimenting on people, for doing medical treatments without permission.
Yep.
if you don't have informed consent, you're not allowed to do any treatment. And any medical intervention is a treatment. So even telling me to put on a mask is a medical intervention. Like, I should if I'm sick, don't get me wrong, but you can't make me do that.
Well, even with
And
that
then get
video
shot.
that Donald Trump shared, even those doctors that are administering these things, even they don't have informed consent to give these shots to people. So if the people aren't informed and the doctors aren't informed, who is? And what do they know? Do they know what harm they're causing people? And if they do, why are we letting them do it?
Yeah. So that's that in like 1984 5, they were getting sued and they were losing. They were paying out a shitload of money. So they went to Congress and they argued that vaccines are inherently unsafe and that all of these so like Stork was talking about earlier, the metals are put in there to irritate the immune system to sort of kickstart it into responding. And then when it starts looking around, what it finds is the broken vaccine or the broken virus pieces that you put in there, attenuated, they call it. But they said that they don't work without those, and that it's impossible to make these things safer without reducing the efficacy. So they just won't work if we make them safe. They're inherently unsafe, and that's why you can't sue them.
Which is ridiculous. And something I want to add before we move on, because I have some really important stories I want to jump to. I mean, not that this isn't important, but this is just an additional part of what we've been talking about the past like hour. So I do want to jump to these other stories. But the last thing I want to add is that in America, we do not treat illnesses, we treat symptoms. And I think that is in part, a large reason why we are so unhealthy as a country. We do not treat the direct causes. We do not treat the actual illness. We treat the symptoms. Why are you getting muscle aches? Why are you getting headaches? Why are you having all these things happen to you? Instead of figuring out why that's happening, we just treat what's happening.
Yeah, just manage the decline is seems to be the whole medical system here. Instead of like, dude, even our nutritional, like, this is what I learned. The worst thing I learned in my schooling, the nutritional guidelines are set, and originally they were only made to be a bare minimum so that people don't get too sick to be recruited for the military.
Yeah, and then we can go on and on about all the stuff with the military. My brother used to tell me about all the stuff that they used to inject them with, and I'm like, but are they shipping you out somewhere? He's like, no, it's in case they need us to. We're gonna inject you with a bunch of vaccines for illnesses in other countries that we may or may not send you to.
So wild, man.
It's absolutely insane, man. But I want to jump to this next thing. I have two really important stories related to Dr. Fauci. But I want to get to this James O'Keefe stuff first because it's actually in my title. So I do need to make sure I get to these. So let me share this with you. Have you seen some of the stuff James O'Keefe's been putting out the past week?
I've seen a couple things, but which one are you talking about? I haven't had time to watch all of it yet.
You're good. We're gonna watch one of his clips here, and I'll mention the other one as well. So for those of you that don't know, I did mention it, but he did get a Department of Justice chief official on video saying that they would redact all Republicans from the Epstein list. And then, of course, they were trying to run defense for him, saying that he doesn't know what he's talking about, saying that he's just repeating things that he's seen in the media. The guy works the Department of Justice at one of the highest positions.
Yeah. If he doesn't know what he's talking about, then the entire system is more incompetent than we already think it is because they put him there.
Yep. So that I'm not even talking about that story today. We have another completely separate story from that individual, but in the same topic. Breaking: FBI official fired, escorted out of the building after leaked audio released of him claiming that there's something being covered up in the Epstein case. I'll quote, a lot of powerful Democrats are on the Epstein list. The O'Keefe Media Group on Monday released leaked audio of Mitch Rosas, an FBI senior paralegal specialist, confessing that there is, quote, something being covered up in the Epstein case. Rosas also said the FBI won't release all of the Epstein files until this administration is over. So James O'Keefe got this guy. He's an FBI legal analyst saying that the Epstein files will not be released until this administration's over. He also suggested a lot of powerful Democrats are on the Epstein list. None of the people that are in a position to answer the questions are willing to do it because it's clear that they're covering something and protecting someone or people, Rosas said. And then we have the audio here. I'll play in just a moment. But so what was funny about this and brings more questions to this, after 30 minutes, within 30 minutes of this audio being released, this guy was fired and escorted from the FBI headquarters. Within 30 minutes of James O'Keefe dropping this.
Efficient.
I mean, I
So
guess
we know they can work fast.
So they can work fast when it affects them, yeah.
Yeah. They just choose not to.
Basically. And then, so let's actually jump here, and let's go down here. So here's the audio. It's a 4-minute clip. We'll just play some of it here. And yeah, he was fired. OMG just received this statement from a senior FBI spokesperson. Quote, the individual, Mitchell Rosas, has been dismissed/fired as of today. Rosas was escorted from the FBI building earlier. Rosas, the FBI official, also sent OMG a message trying to stop the publication of the damning audio on Epstein. Quote, I am not a government official. I was not speaking on behalf of anyone but myself. I was not informed the conversation was on the record. The transcript you reference is a fabrication and does not reflect what I said. I do not consent to publication. Any portrayal otherwise would be false, misleading, and damaging. I reserve all legal rights and remedies, including defamation, false light, and intrusion upon seclusion. Do not publish. I will be represented by counsel. How can you sue someone for defamation when all they're doing is publishing your own words?
Yeah, he hit all the keywords there. He's saying that the transcript you're publishing is not what I said. You didn't have permission to.
I'm not even working for the
record me.
government, even though he got fired.
Man.
Crazy, right? Crazy. So let's see some of the content of this clip.
A lot of powerful Democrats.
Oh, that's I'm gonna get claimed on fucking YouTube.
Hold back. I don't think it's gonna come out until this administration's over.
I gotta mute when that music comes on.
Official Joseph Schnitt inside.
So this is the other guy. This is the other guy, Joseph Schnitt. This is the guy that said that they would redact all the Republicans off the list.
Justice has already prompted additional insiders to come forward. Thanks to an insider from within the FBI, OMG has obtained new exclusive audio. This time, FBI analyst Mitchell Rosas admitting that the Bureau and the administration is covering up the Epstein files.
People may not get what they're looking for.
I have to mute it for the music. YouTube will claim the video. I think the problem is that none of the people that are in a position to answer the questions are willing to do it because it's clear that they're White House covering something and protecting someone or some people. I'll link this in the chat for you guys if you guys want to go and actually listen to the clip. But because they're in a nightclub, the video will be claimed by YouTube because of that music. And I know from experience, the past couple times I've done a James O'Keefe video, it gets claimed, which I don't get any money from YouTube, so I'm not worried about that. But what I am worried about is when your video gets claimed, they stop promoting it. So that's why I'm being a little more careful. But so it's basically just rehashing what we already read in that article. So I put the link down in the chat. But here's an additional info. FBI senior official Michael Rosas terminated and escorted out of the FBI headquarters. Rosas attempted to stop OMG from releasing the tapes. Let me actually go to James O'Keefe's main page here. James O'Keefe is now being sued because of this.
Again, State Farm Insurance Vice President Hayden Kirkpatrick just sued me personally in Cook County, Illinois, over.
So he's getting sued not just for the FBI stuff, but he's also getting sued because of the expose he did in relation to the wildfires. And the government is now suing James O'Keefe to get his sources. They want to know who at the FBI gave him this audio. Because in that clip that I shared, he said someone inside the FBI gave him the audio.
Freedom of the press. They can't make him do that.
So they're trying to force him to give up his sources.
Yeah, they can try. That's not going to work.
No. But
Man, it's interesting how many different like tyrannical kind of things that a lot is climbing up and getting crazy, like you were talking about Nepal and whatnot. But we're also seeing a lot of things just like crushed. This is one of them here. The government's going to try and sue this guy who's catching them for their sources, and they're going to lose.
it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And what is James O'Keefe doing here? He's not doing anything wrong. He's literally just trying to get what everyone wants answers to.
Yeah.
Government is
don't
the government is actively working to cover it up, and it's evidence as dude. He just in the past week he's released now 2 videos of people that work for the Department of Justice and the FBI, saying that they're going to cover this up.
What was that you said about until the end of this term?
Yeah, in the audio, if you were to play that whole clip, I'll DM it to you right now if you want to check it out.
Sure.
In this clip, you can hear the guy say that they will not release the Epstein files until this administration is over. This guy who's an FBI legal analyst, he's a paralegal specialist, senior paralegal specialist at the FBI. He is saying they're not releasing it till this administration's over.
The only reason that could be is because it implicates Trump, right?
I don't know if it implicates Trump. I've talked about Mike Johnson's statements yesterday. He walked them back, but I don't know, dude. Trump, he said Trump was an informant for Epstein, which isn't to say that he's done anything.
Usually mean you got caught?
No, that's not at all what that means. All that means, it could be as simple as this, Sean. It could be as simple as Donald Trump gave them a list of mutual friends. He became an informant that way. It could be as simple as that.
But so then the story is that Donald Trump just of his own volition just walked up and said, "Here you go, FBI." Like that's the
story is after he heard rumors of Epstein and cut ties with him, he then cooperated with FBI to help bring him down. That's what Johnson said. And the point I'll add to that is that if he is an informant, it would actually make all of his statements make a lot of sense, because that means as an informant, he can't come out and just give insider info. He will be legally responsible for that info being released if he's an informant.
I think it might be like isn't informant like the job title for the ones that they caught and got let off the hook, or like they're on the hook but they're not being reeled in, you know what I mean? Like maybe that's where the difference is, that he wasn't an informant, he was just someone who informed them, you know what I mean? He brought them a tip kind of thing.
Well, I mean, Mike Johnson walked it back and said that he didn't mean what he said, so I don't know.
Maybe that's the distinction there.
Maybe.
That's weird.
It would make sense, though. I think it would clarify some of his previous statements on this, especially like comments about it being a Democrat hoax. If he has insider knowledge, he would know exactly what he means by hoax, what parts are hoaxed.
Right. And we also, like, whether his name is in it or not, at this point, unless you trust that the Democrats didn't tamper any documents, we don't know what's real and what's not.
Well, it's not even that at this point, Sean. I think you would agree it's a bipartisan issue. Not only do you have to trust that the Democrats didn't fuck with it over the last 4 years,
right,
you also have to trust that the Trump administration didn't fuck with it on their way out and fuck with it on their way in.
And during the first administration, too.
Well, that's what I mean on their way out, because it happened on the way out, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So you have to basically you have to trust that both parties are being honest, which is never going to happen, and that's why no one will believe. You could release everything on Epstein, and people will still say it's not all of it. I will still say it's not all of it.
Yep.
So
that's true.
But we're getting to the end here. I do have 2 other very, very important stories that I will mention briefly, and I will save them for tomorrow, because I do want to go more in depth on them. But while I have you, Sean, if you want to add any thoughts to these, you're more than welcome to as a closing. So the 2 stories I have, which is interesting that these are happening the same day. So you know Dr. Fauci's maximum pain experiments with the monkeys?
We should probably outline it, though.
What do you mean?
Like, you should, I mean, this one, I actually don't think I know the maximum pain experiment, but we should probably outline that real quick for the show.
So
Can you say it in like 3 or 4 sentences? You know?
Yeah. So Dr. Fauci, as head of the NIH, he had a bunch of different programs where he was doing research and stuff like that. One of the research funded things by the NIH and Dr. Fauci was Monkey Island, which is a nice way of putting it, but it's actually dubbed the maximum pain experiment. Basically, think of things that the Nazis were doing to people in concentration camps, and they're doing that and worse to these monkeys. They're clipping the ends of their fingers and toes. They're clipping the webbing on their fingers. They're doing all kinds of heinous things, injecting them with different illnesses, injecting them with different vaccines, doing all sorts of different things, freezing limbs, removing limbs, sewing different limbs onto all kinds of crazy demonic shit being funded by our government.
What is their claimed purpose? Not that it's a good reason, but why do they say they're doing that?
The research is to see how much pain a creature could take before they die.
Why would you want to know that?
We'll go more in depth. I want to go. You're welcome to join me on the show tomorrow. I want to go more in depth on this because I'm gonna rant on this for the next 20 minutes if I start talking about it. But so the title here from the Gateway Pundit is House Appropriations Committee targets Dr. Fauci taxpayer-funded Monkey Island and FY26 NIH spending bill. The move comes after years of investigations by White Coat Waste Project and coverage by the Gateway Pundit, which has exposed the secretive South Carolina primate colony as a multi-million-dollar industry involving horrific experiments on thousands of monkeys.
Dude, science is like a powerful tool, but if it's being put in the wrong hands and we give money to some crooked-ass people to do whatever they want, like, the only reason you could possibly want to know how much pain you can inflict before somebody dies is so that you can stop before you get to that point when you're torturing somebody.
We've known about this since 2021, Sean.
Wow.
And it's been going on since before that.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, because that's just when we found it, right?
That's when the public learned about it. Because they have been hiding it. They've been keeping it under wraps. And literally, I'm not joking, the NIH themselves dubbed it the maximum pain research.
Wow. I thought that was just like our side colloquial, That's wild.
No. The NIH themselves refer to this as the maximum pain experiments.
I know about the beagle stuff, but
that was the next story.
I didn't know about this one. Yeah.
Notorious beagle breeder that supplies Fauci-funded labs has now been hit with over 300 violations.
Good.
Surprise, right? In this lab where they were giving breeding beagles to be sent off to these similar experiments where they would have flesh-eating flies eat the faces of these puppies. I'm not fucking joking when I say that either. This breeder was doing experiments themselves, Sean. They were injecting these beagles also with viruses and vaccines.
Who the fuck is this breeder? Are they growing their own vaccines? Where are they getting all of that? Like,
it gets better, Sean. The government in this local area is still trying to decide whether or not this goes against animal cruelty laws.
Oh, man.
What a fucking joke.
Wow.
Oh, don't worry, Sean. They're looking at a $55,000 fine.
Yeah, all the way up the chain. All the way up the chain. We got a lot of rope, man. We got a lot of rope.
Jesus Christ. They're born to die is a quote from one of these people. Oh my God. Yeah, and then here's the NIH grants, renews grant for Harvard Monkey Lab. What? I didn't see this one. NIH renews grant for Harvard's Monkey Lab, Fauci Beagle, and primate test. Oh my fucking God.
And that was just June.
That was this
year. That means
they're
doing that right now. Yeah, that means that they're doing those experiments right now. We're in business hours on a weekday. They're experimenting on these fucking monkeys and these beagles right now.
If it's a day that ends in Y, they're torturing these innocent creatures.
and they're adding extra damage because those beagles were in so much pain, they were screaming, and they cut their vocal cords so they didn't have to listen to the beagle scream.
Yeah, killing it. I'm with
This
you
is
there. I would like to run a
demon
few of
shit.
these pain tests on some of these people for science. I don't know, man. I at some degrees I do think that some people deserve like a slow removal from this earth. But then a part of me thinks I'm no better than them. I think we should just make it as clean and quick as possible. Just get them out of here.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. For me, it's not about whether or not they deserve it or it's justifiable. It's about, do you want to take on the damage of you going through that act?
Yeah,
You
because
know,
someone
because you
has
can
to
just
do the
end them
torturing,
clean.
and think about the mental state that you'll be putting them through.
And then think about the ripple effects of that person walking around in society. You know,
Eventually, he'll need to be,
exactly.
So I think the best way
Exactly.
to do is maybe just lethal injection for these people that shouldn't be in polite society.
And like the conversation on a few shows, Joey and I's were talking about this a little bit. Like maybe it should be mandatory viewing kind of thing. You know, like I was arguing yesterday, I think that maybe we should bring back the guillotine and put it on top of the courthouse and make that 16 plus mandatory viewing. People got to learn that there's consequences. It's not about making them see that. It's about, listen, we can gauge. We did this 150 times last year and we've only done it 20 this year.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
Looks like Joey's running late, so we'll go for a little bit longer, but I'm gonna talk about all this stuff and more tomorrow. Sean, I'll DM you if you want to join me. We'll go more in depth and read the articles. But man, 2025, we're in the Trump administration now. We have people that are supposed to be in these positions that are on our side, and we just got the funding renewed.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers to that too. These people that are supposed to be on our sides are not doing what we're telling them to do.
Literally. And this you weren't in the stage last night, but in Tim Pool's Discord, for those of you that don't know, I'm on Tim Pool's Discord. Last night I was on the community stage and I was arguing with people because the messaging for this term for Donald Trump has been garbage, god awful. And that is not me saying that at the beginning it wasn't good. If you look at the messaging from the beginning of the term, there was a lot of hope. You look at his inaugural speech. That was one of the best speeches I've ever seen, which isn't saying much considering I'm only 20 in my 20s. But point being, the messaging at the start was good, sure. But if you encompass the messaging at the start and the messaging now, overall, garbage. All of that stuff at the beginning he was saying just feels like lies now.
Yeah. There's too much this is happening because my predecessor sucked so much. Like, how long can you blame them? How long does it? I mean, I know it's fucked up and it's going to take a long time to fix things, but there's a difference between you're taking a while to fix the thing that they broke and you keep breaking new things.
Yeah. All right. Looks like Joey's going live. Again, Sean, you're welcome to come on tomorrow. Let the people know where to find you.
Yeah, man. I'm down. Shoot me the link so I can read that article if you don't mind, and then I'll jump on and chat it out with you for sure.
For sure.
You're looking at like 1 o'clock our time, right?
Yeah. This for those of you that don't know, this is the last week I'm doing 1 p.m. Pacific Standard. For some of you, it's 4 p.m. Eastern. Joey Cannoli will be taking my time slot next week, and going forward, I will be at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard. That is also 11 a.m. Eastern. I will be doing morning shows from now on. But yes, the rest of the week, I will be at my normal time, 1 p.m.
I think Joey then is going to go for about an hour and a half in the time slot. And then I'm going to jump in for give or take an hour and play some video games and kind of just like relax out for a bit.
There you go. That's a plan.
Yeah. That's my plan for Monday through Thursday, and then Friday is my normal time. I think I'm going to take that. If you're not doing that Friday, I think I'm going to also jump in early and I'm going to just do a longer one, and I'm going to start doing some California politics because I think there's a lot of crazy stuff that's happening and somebody's got to cover it. So why not me? But yeah, man, thanks for having me. Let me know any. I'm available pretty decently. We'll chat it out.
Yeah,
See you later,
for sure.
man.
And then everybody should go and follow Sean on his page, Sean's Eye View on Rumble. Go give him a follow.
Hey.
Go support the homies. And yeah, thank you,
Check out
Sean.
how that awesome picture that Tyler made for me.
I didn't make that. That was an AI prompt, but it is pretty sick.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, later, dude. Good having you. All right, guys, we're gonna start wrapping things up here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Absolutely loved the show. Great show today. For some reason, my follower stuff is not appearing. I just got to thank Shitty Gov. Thank you so much, Shitty Gov, for the gift, the subscription. That was awesome. He subscribed to the channel for a month. He's now a monthly supporter. Thank you guys for liking the video today. You guys absolutely destroyed that like button. Oh my goodness. What am I at? I almost hit 30 likes on the stream today. You guys are freaking killing it. Can I get the grunt birthday sound effect going? Where's this at? Can I get let's do the grunt here. Let's see if it'll play. No, it's not playing. It's broken. All right, I gotta figure that out for the next stream. I don't know why my stuff is not displaying. Everything's fine on my end on OBS. So I gotta figure that out. But what we'll do is we'll end the stream, and then I'll send you guys over to Joey of Knoll. But first, as I send you guys off, let me do one more ad read. Got to get those ad reads in. Got to support Rumble. Are you guys ready to level up your game? AIM Controllers is where custom meets unbeatable value, and right now, it's the best deal of the year. We start with official Sony and Xbox controllers, fully compatible with console and PC, no functionality lost. Then you go wild with custom features, smart bumpers, paddles, grips, stick height, custom buttons, even design your own PS5 snap panels. And here's the part no one is doing. Lifetime warranty on all your modified parts. That's right, lifetime. What other company does that exactly? Normally, a fully loaded setup could run you $400, but during our one price promo, it's just $209 USD or 182 in European currency. No matter how many features you add, use code RUMBLE at checkout and lock it in. This is your design. Go to aimcontrollers.com and build the last controller you'll ever need. Thank you guys for tuning in for that ad. I'm going to send you guys over to the Joey Cannoli show now. Go tune in to whatever he's got going on, and I will be back tomorrow to talk about all the torturous experiments that our government likes to do to animals, specifically beagles and monkeys and whatever else I can find. I have a message pinned in the chat. If you guys haven't already, please go join the Discord. If there are stories that I missed today that you felt I should have talked about, please, please, please join my Discord and yell at me to talk about them. I want stories that people are not covering so I can cover them. There's so much news that people just aren't covering, and I want to cover them. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. Love the show today. And yeah, peace out. Let's get the music going. Where's this outro music? This one. Later.
Yeah, streets hum loud with a broken beat. Yeah, whispers crawl where the liars meet. Yeah, the truth's a shadow hiding in plain sight. They sell us mirrors, but no one's right.
Who holds the pen that rewrites the lines? Who builds the walls and calls them divine? Burn the flags, burn the flags. They don't care what you have. Raise your voice or take your stand. The power's yours, don't let it pass.
Marching forward, but stuck in reverse. Echoes scream, but they don't rehearse. Fingers point, but the mirrors crack. Both sides cheat while the people laugh.